Hi guys, my name is Javi. I've been a real estate agent for over 10 years and I've been on YouTube making videos for home buyers for the past over 5 years. I have spoken with tens of thousands of people about buying their home, and to this day, daily I'm talking with at least 3 to 4 new home buyers once every other day. So if some days I get like multiple calls, some days I get no calls, not only through my YouTube system, but of course, being part of like web home search sites like Zillow, Realtor, where if you ever click contact agent or you click I want more information about this house, or can I go schedule a showing, it connects you with a random team that's been specialized to serve that area. And I happen to be part of one of those. So I deal with people who know me, who don't know me, and I just have a lot of buying conversations with first-time home buyers. And despite what year it is, despite how the housing market is, I continue to see mistakes. And in today's video, I'm going to enlighten you with some of these mistakes I continue to see. And I want you guys to really take a lot of notes and see if maybe you're potentially either making them currently or you're in danger of making them, so you can make hopefully more informed and better decisions from here on out. So let's start off with this mistake that is probably the one that drives me the craziest, but I continue to see even to this day. You start looking too early. It really matters who the first person you talk to in your real estate journey is. The idea of I want to buy a house comes into your head, and you decide to call a mentor of yours, your father, your mother, a brother, older sister, or a good friend of yours who has done this many times, and they're going to set you up with like, hey, this is what I recommend, bada boom, boom, boom. That's going to be a good first impression. They're going to not set you up with a broker or lender right away. They're just going to set you with, hey, do this first, do that first, like a nice checklist, and then at that point, go contact your agent. Or maybe you guys go on YouTube and you find a handsome man like myself. Now, if you think this is the majority of people, you would be wrong. This is the great minority. Here's what most people do, okay? They are living their life and life hits them in the face with a, hey, you got to buy a house now, either because your landlord's kicking you out or your mom and dad are kicking you out, or you're just maybe at the point where like, hey, I'm ready to buy a house. What's the first thing that they do, you think? Just guess, take a guess. You're guilty of this too, maybe. So tell me the truth. They open their phone and they look at an app, Zillow. They'll start looking for a house because it's natural. If you're thinking about buying a product, the first thing you're going to do is start looking at the product, right? So you go on Zillow, you go on realtor.com, you go on all the websites. Maybe you're going to open houses. You start clicking, you start making favorites. And there's one that, oof, man, it looks so nice. It's honey, this is the one we've been dreaming about. It has that bedroom that we can turn into your sorry, I thought about something. I once saw a house where there's a like big signs, warning signs as you enter the primary bedroom. Beware, please, adults only. Like it's a primary bedroom. Hey kids, go downstairs. We go in, it's a normal looking room. We go to the bathroom and there's a freaking swing and all kinds of fun stuff. Not judging. It's just the idea of like someone looking on Zillow saying, honey, this room's perfect for the swing that we've been thinking about, just made me laugh. Anyways, this room is, you find a house that's perfect. You're like, maybe we should hit contact agent. Okay, honey, let's do it. Click. Now, who is going to be your first contact in the real estate process? It's going to be a real estate agent. And I know we got a lot of people that hate agents here. I'm not here to hate on agents, okay? Although I do hate myself a lot sometimes, unfortunately. Ask my therapist, she'll tell you all about it. But the thing is, you're going to be dealing with an agent who is highly trained and skilled in conversion. And it's just part of the real estate industry. If you are joining any major team in the country and you want to become an agent, you're going to be given online leads. You're going to be trained how to convert them. Okay. So when your first impression or your first conversation when you're buying a house is somebody who is trained on converting you to become a home buyer as fast as possible in the most efficient way as possible, you're setting yourself up to be wrapped in what's called the tornado. That's right. For people that have viewed my channel for a long time, you guys know what I'm talking about. You get sucked in, you're getting pre-qualified, you're getting boom, boom. Next thing you know, you're in a house, your inspection, and you've closed and you're just like, what just happened? Oh crap. Maybe I don't have as much savings as I would like to have right now that I've owned my house for 2 months. Holy crap. If only I had waited just a few months to kind of just take a step back and compose myself. Matter of fact, a lot of the sales I get from Zillow are like this. They're very much quick. I do my best I try to stop them and say, guys, We should take some time to just go have a conversation. But people are just like, let's go now, that they just get into it. So do yourself a favor. Get educated first. You're in the right channel already. First of all, go through my videos. I've got a lot of free resources. Actually, as a matter of fact, I want to take this time to announce something. I've had this for sale, and I've had thousands of people purchase it over the last year. Only 5 reviews though. What's up, guys? Come on. All my resources. I want to first and foremost thank everybody who has helped basically purchase this and support me by purchasing it. I want to now announce officially that as of making of this video, it will no longer say buy this. I'm going to be giving it out for free. There's free home buying digital resources I'm providing. I have also some PDFs I'll give for free. So there's people like myself. Win the House You Love is a great YouTuber who talks a lot about mortgages as well. There's a lot of great resources out there that you can use to educate yourself. Don't make the salesperson the first person that you talk to, unless it's a salesperson you highly trust and maybe they built their business in a different way. Or like, for example, people that I like to help, I don't just, hey, let's go look at houses right away. I kind of just, hey, let's talk about your why, let's talk about some things, etc. So just, it really it matters who your first impression is. So if you start you're looking at houses too early before you've done any research or preparation, you're going to make that first impression a real estate agent who is trained to sell. You're going to be stuck in a tornado, and you're going to be buying a home sooner than you're wanting and potentially earlier than you were ready to go. Now, the second one, this is one that's going to cost you, but the problem is you're not going to know it costs you unless you like do some reflecting after the fact, which no one ever does. But I'm telling you now, it happens. That is that you only shop with one lender. Here is another example. As you can tell, I like to draw. I always like to draw, and I somehow made that my career. And if you ever do a buyer consultation with me, like if you're looking to buy a home in Phoenix, I do this on my Zoom calls all the time, whether it's like comparable searches or our initial consultation. So yeah, I'm just a drawer. It is what it is. You would think I would get better by now, but they're still crappy stick drawings. Let me give you an example in this story. I'm helping a wonderful buyer. Let's call her Leslie. Okay, that's not her name, but I like the name Leslie. I'm also a big fan of Parks and Rec. Leslie, wonderful first-time home buyer, amazing family, it's just everything is perfect. Like, you just love her to death, love her family. She's amazing. Comes to me, we start working together. We're pre-qualified. Here's the problem. Sometimes when I get someone who doesn't find me through YouTube, but finds me through another source, I'm limited to the lenders I can send them to first initially, right? So the first lender I send to is the lender I have to send it based on the source. So this is not a surprise for anybody who's watching this. If you're on Redfin, that Redfin agent will probably push you to Redfin Mortgage. If you're looking on whatever other website, that agent or whatever's working is probably going to recommend that mortgage company. It's just it's just part of the relationship. In order for them to continue to receiving business from that website, that's just the way it works. But here's the thing. I did what I had to and sent it to that lender number one that I had to initially. Okay. Lender number one was quoting her 6.7% as an interest rate. And that lender number one, she told me afterward, that was very weird because he kept saying, yeah, just call me if you get any other like quotes or anything. Just keep me in the loop if you shop it around or anything. Just give me a heads up, right? It was very much like a come back to me if something, like almost like saying, hey, everyone else is gonna beat us, come to me and then I can maybe get my manager to give us an exception. It almost felt that way. Now, of course, I set her up and I was like, this is the lender I'm gonna recommend first. You should definitely talk with them. However, if that doesn't work out, I have 2 other wonderful lenders that are just amazing. Just if you want a second option or a second opinion. Of course, we went through the second opinion route. That second lender, for the same exact terms, offered her 6.4% interest rate. Quick interruption. If you know what this sword is from, Let me know in the comments, and you are officially cool. Also, if you're looking for an agent anywhere in the country whatsoever, check out homeandmoney.com/Javier. You go over, you click a few buttons, you let me know what city, state you're looking in, South Dakota, North Dakota, East Dakota, West Dakota, wherever. You fill it out, you get connected with an amazing person, and you now have an agent to consider working with. Last but not least, if you're looking for an agent in Arizona, I mean, you can just reach out to me if you want, but if you want to just learn more about Arizona first, you can check out my channel, which is literally the same channel just for Arizona specific stuff in AZ, Arizona Javi. Check it out. Cool. All right, let's get back to the wrong button. Let's get back to the video. Let's break down what that means for Leslie. If Leslie was purchasing a $350,000 house with 5% down payment at 6.7, I'm excluding taxes and insurance. Normally mortgages include this stuff. I'm just doing it now for the sake of argument, okay? Her monthly payment would be $2,146. Actually, let me just add it just to be safe. $150, $100 insurance. Let's say PMI is gonna be, I don't know, $150, okay? Her monthly payment would be $25.46, okay? Just by shopping around that lender. She gets a 6.4% rate, and that monthly payment is $24.80. That's $66 a month. But if you think that's the only effect, let's say Leslie purchased this house and she just plans on living it for 30 years, never makes any extra payments, etc., etc. That loan will cost her $463,000 of interest after 30 years. At 6.4%, that's gonna cost her $438,000. Don't get me wrong, it's still a lot. It's always worth to make extra payments, but that's $24-ish thousand that's saved just by having another phone call with someone. Never just talk to one lender, even if you find the best lender. Then she ended up finding a credit union who gave her a different rate and much better program, etc. So she just stuck it out with the credit union. However, we could have had these two lenders going back and forth, and maybe would have probably gotten like a 6.3 or 6.2 or something around there. It's always hard for people to have that extra conversation with people because it's like, well, I like them, they're my friends, you know, I really like them as a people. That's great, you can like them, there's nothing wrong with that. I like people too, but you know, this is business. You know, you got to save your moolah, you got to make sure you're being taken care of at a high level. The next and final thing that I have for you today is going to be not looking at the whole picture when it comes to the monthly payment. Once again, I don't blame you. If you ever go on Zillow or any of those websites, here's what they do that trick you. Let's say you're looking for a house in, I don't know, Scottsdale. Okay, Scottsdale is a fancy part here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. Not fancy, just more expensive, different parts and whatnot. And you find a house you like here, $619,000, updated bathrooms. Whoa, gotta have an updated bathroom. If you don't have an updated bathroom, my grandpa always says, are you even living? And it says the monthly payment is $37.05, which for that price, hey, that's not too bad. What's going on here, right? Well, they're just trying to give you a nice low monthly payment so you can hit that get pre-qualified button so that you can get connected with one of their lenders. And maybe when you're going to, and you're doing a mortgage calculator, just like I was trying to do earlier, you just don't fill in the taxes or the insurance or anything. You just get the nice low monthly payment number, and that's what you're using as a calculation. You don't want to do this. Let me explain to you how a mortgage works. There's 5 different aspects of a mortgage, okay? There's your principal, there's your interest, there's your property taxes, home insurance, which we'll call hazard insurance, we'll just call HI, and then there's your PMI or MIP, but let's just call it mortgage insurance, which is we'll explain it in a bit, okay? So that all makes up your monthly payment. But also on top of that, that's not usually included, is your HOA, okay? Your HOA is also part of that if you're looking at HOA houses. If you're not looking at HOA houses, you don't have to worry about that. But in essence, also just know that there's also other expenses with home ownership, right? And I know there's not an exact number to this, but honestly, I think as a good rule of thumb, if you just save an additional, I don't know, $300-200 a month just for potential repairs or remodel or anything like that, that's probably a good habit to have. So I don't know, you can throw in extra savings just in case you need it. Also, if you're planning on paying down your interest heavily, then you can also make extra payments here as well. So you could, in theory, really add on a lot to this payment. And this is definitely optional, but the HOA is not optional if you're buying in an HOA. So when you're talking with most people, when you're looking on most websites, they're going to give you the principal and interest, because this is really, I mean, they're not wrong. This is the mortgage. Actual principal and interest is part of the mortgage itself. And that's what, when you're talking about the interest and the principal and the balance and all that, this is what gets affected by it. The taxes, they like to break it down as something separately, but really part of your monthly payment should include it. So what I mean by that is if you're paying, say, $3,000 of annual property taxes, they're going to break that down per month, and they're going to have you paying $250 on that monthly payment. So your principal and interest plus the taxes. Your hazard insurance, they're going to get your annual premium. Let's say your annual premium is $2,000, which, geez Louise, now, especially with everything happening in California, every state's different with this. $2,000 is what I see normally in Arizona. Sorry for the bump, but your state might be a lot higher. So please do your research and figure out what that is. Whatever the hazard insurance is, they'll divide it by 12 as well. Let's say they're adding $166. Mortgage insurance is like, well, if you're going FHA, essentially you're going to be paying, I think there's a certain percentage, a minimum. I usually see $150 to $250. Let's just assume this could be $100 to $300 depending on your credit and what loan you're getting, but that's just more money that's being added on there. So, and then your HOA, if you're paying, let's say $60 a month, if you're trying to, save an extra $100 a month or whatever, extra payments, let's say you're making an extra $300, I don't know, whatever you want to add, it adds up. I cannot tell you how many times I have a conversation with someone and we start talking about affordability and they go, yeah, well, Zillow says this house is worth, the monthly payment's like $2,000. This is perfect. And I know they're looking at a $400,000 house. And I know that that's not going to be, especially after talking with the down payment situation, is that's just not the case. What is a salesperson going to do at that point, right? We have to, because we're being trained and watched to make our performance, we have to just go show you the property. And then hopefully during the showing, then at that point they bring up, hey, let's talk about your monthly payment. This is the monthly payment you're looking for. Here's some other houses that I feel might work better for that monthly payment. And guess what? They're uglier. And now you're crap and they know, no thanks, right? You're trying to push us. So once you get yourself, that goes back to number one, once you get yourself into the house, especially if you're being tricked into thinking that the payment's lower, you're not really preparing yourself. And also you're setting yourself up to maybe get stuck with the higher monthly payment that you actually can't afford, but you qualified for. Because remember, the difference between what you qualify for and what you can afford is always drastic. This isn't exact math here, but essentially, let's say you're making, I don't know, $8,000 a month and you have low to zero debts. Well, they might qualify you up to $3,500 to $4,000 a month. But technically, if you follow, let's say 30% of your net income rule, your net income is actually $6,000. Let's just say, $6,500, and 30% of that is about $1,950. So really that's the range, give or take $100 or $200 that you should be qualifying for or trying to buy. So that way you're living within your means, but they're going to qualify you for a higher amount. So you're going to hate hearing this, but if you're actually looking at houses, just talk to a lender. It sucks. It's a credit pool. But if you're looking at houses, it's because you're serious. And if you're seriously looking at houses, then you need to freaking get an idea of what monthly payment actually works before you go start looking at houses. Because the minute you start looking at houses that are way nicer, right, your brain starts getting used to that. Then you're actually shown the monthly payment for these houses. And you realize, holy crap, although I can qualify for this house, I really can't afford it. So then you start looking at houses that you can afford. You go look at it, you're going to feel like you're attacked. Like, why do these people not want to put me in this area? Why do these people think I deserve this and not this? And you're going to start making justifications for yourself for stretching your budget and putting yourself in a position. Well, now your mortgage is 40% of your income and you can't save as much as you could before, and you can't travel as much as you can before. And now you're stuck in a position where you're hoping for the market to go up so you can sell your house. And that is not something I wish on anybody, my friends. So please do yourself a favor and avoid these mistakes. I made this video about 2-3 years ago that I think still holds this great time. So if you want to go look at my original home buying mistakes to avoid, go check out that video. That's pretty sick, pretty solid. For everybody else, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one.